He slipped in the snow and broke his neck, but even though he screamed for help, no one was around to hear him. He laid in freezing conditions, wearing only his pajamas, but his dog heard his cries and laid on top of him to keep him warm. She licked his face to keep him awake and barked for help, and she did this for almost 24 hours straight. A neighbor finally heard and found the man, barely alive, and he ended up surviving thanks to his dog's devotion. As they pierced her ear, the gun caused micro cracks in the cartilage, which allowed bacteria to survive. 3 weeks later, her ear was swollen, red, and leaking pus. Doctors found that a bacterial infection had eaten away part of her cartilage. She became resistant to antibiotics, forcing surgeons to drain the wound and perform reconstructive surgery. Experts warn piercing guns are often unsanitary, and hollow needles are much safer. When a firing squad shoots a prisoner, one of the bullets actually isn't real. You see, one of the rifles is loaded with a blank, but it still fires and kicks back when the trigger is pulled. The soldiers aren't told which rifle it is, casting doubt on who actually shot and killed the man. This way, the soldiers can feel less guilty and sleep at night, knowing there was a chance that they weren't the one to kill him. A massive tree fell and pinned a man's leg beneath it. He had been cutting down trees in the middle of the woods and was completely trapped. An hour passed and he realized that rescue was unlikely. Using a pocket knife, he made deep cuts through his skin and muscle, enduring unimaginable pain. He used the blade to sever tendons and nerves and even had to break his own bone. After freeing himself, he crawled back to his tractor and drove to the nearest road. There, he was spotted and rushed to the hospital, where he eventually recovered. A spy saw Washington crossing the river, planning a surprise attack. He quickly wrote a note and sent it to warn his commander. But when it arrived, the commander was busy playing cards and didn't bother to read it. Instead, he stuffed it into his pocket and kept playing. The next morning, Washington's troops attacked, catching the British off guard. During the fight, the commander was shot and fell to the ground, and as he lay there dying, the unread note that could have saved his life fell from his pocket. If you bury your dead hamster, there's a chance it wasn't actually dead. You see, if your house is cold for long periods of time, your hamster's heart and breathing will slow down, and they can go into a deep sleep to conserve energy, which can make them feel stiff and cold. Now, they sometimes won't wake up from this even if you touch them, meaning there's a good chance you'll think it's dead. The massive vat burst, releasing over 300,000 gallons of beer, and the explosion sent a 15-foot tidal wave crashing through the wall of the brewery. Bricks were launched into the air and fell through people's roofs, while the wave of beer destroyed houses and trapped residents. Tragically, a funeral was taking place when the room suddenly flooded, killing 5 people. And days later, another died from alcohol poisoning after drinking the spilled beer. He fell and his shirt got caught in the escalator's moving steps. As it continued, it pulled him along, causing the fabric to wrap tightly around his neck. And this caused his throat to close, cutting off his air supply. He struggled to take the shirt off, but the force of the escalator kept tightening it, and by the time help arrived, he was unconscious. Rescuers freed him and rushed him to the hospital, but it was too late. A bomb was dropped between you and another soldier. It would start to release a chemical gas into the air. Now, this gas would start to work on chemicals in your body to make you instantly attracted to the soldiers around you. And you would be too busy mingling with your fellow soldiers to focus on the battle in front of you. Ultimately, the idea didn't get past the planning stage, and the bomb was never used.